On today's show,
The One Eye Play Festival is this weekend.
We asked Mr. Dodig.
The baseball game of the week.
Can athletes go on spring vacation?
The Grim Reaper is coming.
All this and so much more.
good morning, Staples. Good morning, Staples. It is Thursday, April 23rd. I'm Gavin Berger.
And I'm Cole Toussaint. We have a great show for you today, but before we can begin, would you all please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To begin our show, we go to a visit to the Library Learning Commons to learn about an upcoming event.
That's right. We have an author who's coming for a visit to talk about a new book he has written. Here's Ms. Weinberg to tell you more.
Okay, I just want to let you know about an event that's coming up. It's sponsored by the Westport Library. It's downtown at Tokay Hall, and there's a new book that just came out. The book is called We All Looked Up. It's by Tommy Wallach, and it's about a bunch of high school students who found out that an asteroid might be hitting the Earth and destroying it. And so they're trying to figure out whether they should continue their life as they have been living it, or if they should do something different, knowing that the world might possibly be ending. And so the Westport Library has brought the author of the book to Tokay Hall. They're coming, here's an advertisement, they're coming on May 8th. And he's also a musician, so he's going to play some of his music, and he's going to talk about the book and sign the book, and there'll be another musician there as well. And the teen librarian is going to come and speak on the Staples Morning Show to talk a little bit more about the event, but I just wanted to give you a heads up and come check out the book at the library.
Thanks, Ms. Weinberg, for the information about the upcoming visit. We will have more information about this visit in next week's show.
And now I'll visit the guidance with Ms. Capozzi and some information about seniors.
Hey kids, it's Miss Capozzi here. Listen, seniors, this one's for you. It's very important. A lot of stuff going on for you right now, especially with internships rolling around. However, before you leave for internships, you have a mandatory meeting that you must come and partake in guidance. And that's next week, the week of April 27th through May 1st. During any of all of the lunch waves, counselors will be available to work with you on what we call a senior exit survey. This is a mandatory meeting. It's an opportunity for you to meet with your guidance counselor one last time to update us on your post-high school plans and partake in a brief exit survey. No appointment is necessary. This meeting will take approximately 2 to 5 minutes max. We will be available for every lunch wave. Come in next week. Here's the kicker, kids. If you do not participate in the survey, we will hold you accountable we'll set you up with an accountability, and then you won't be able to leave for your internship or graduate and all that fun stuff. Listen, easy, keep us up to date, come see us, any lunch wave, all next week. Don't forget. See you then.
Thanks, Ms. Capozzi. Seniors, don't forget that next week you must meet in guidance during lunch for your senior exit strategy.
It is getting to be prom season and time for the Grim Reaper to be visiting Staples High School. Up next is an announcement about Grim Reaper Day here at Staples.
Hey, I'm Jenna.
Hey, I'm Kendall,
And we're in TAG. We're looking for victims to volunteer for this upcoming Grim Reaper Day on May 11th.
So come by Chris's office right outside the cafeteria and grab a nice permission slip. You get free pizza,
Free breakfast,
and
a
free t-shirts.
May 11th, the Teen Awareness Group is going to be staging their, I think, 13th Grim Reaper Day. And Grim Reaper Day sheds light on the statistic that every 53 minutes someone's killed in the United States in a drunk driving accident. In addition, every 90 seconds someone is injured in a drunk driving accident. So around prom and graduation time, TAG tries to point these statistics out and get kids thinking about them by staging an all-day event where kids are reminded or given representation of that statistic that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, TAG is absolutely looking for volunteers to be victims. Victims are asked not to speak during the school day. Of course, if they're in class, they have to answer their teacher and ask questions, but victims are wanted very badly. Yeah, anyone can volunteer to be a victim. We need people to come before school and be made up, and we'll be pulling kids out of class too once we get the okay from the teachers.
So if you're interested in participating in Grim Reaper Day as an accident victim, please be sure to visit Mr. Lamont's office by May 4th.
The Library Learning Commons recently began to figure out how to create some sort of community event for retiring principal John Dodick.
So the Library Learning Commons turned to crowdsourcing questions from the Staples students.
Up next is the first of many pieces that we have decided to call Ask Mr. Dodick.
Our first question for Mr. Dodick is, if Staples were an animal, what animal would Staples be?
I would choose a peacock because when a peacock spreads its tail, there are so many colors, and when I see it, I think of Staples and all of the wonderful things that go on here every day. They're all so different, and so to me it's like a different color in a peacock's tail.
Next, a student wanted to know what was the most surprising thing a student ever asked him.
Wow, that's a good question. I would have to say, one day I was standing in front of the cafeteria and a group of kids came up and one of them said, "I have a question for you, Mr. Dodick." And the question was, what would you do as a principal if a coach used the F word, which is an epithet for a gay boy, during the day? And I looked at him and said, "You have to be kidding. You don't know what I would do?" And we had a wonderful discussion, and out of that came something, a message that I put together and read over the PA system about my beliefs and what school should be like for all kids.
Westport schools are excellent. We all know this. But what do you see as our biggest challenge in Westport relative to other peer group towns?
I think I'd have to say that even though the town spent a lot of money, I think it was $80 million or something like that, to build this building, state of the art, it's now 8 years old, and our programs are going to evolve. They're going to change. We're going to add more programs. Some will disappear. We'll need more space to do more interactive kinds of activities. And it's going to be a hard sell in the town to convince people that the town, through taxes, should come up with more money to expand this building or change its configuration to keep up with the times.
So now all of you know a little more about Principal John Dodick. But on this week, behind the scenes, Olivia and Chloe found out a little more about Mr. Dodick's secretary, Ms. Ramono. Here's their piece.
This week on Behind the Scenes of Staples, we interview Mrs. Romano, Mr. Dodig's secretary.
What do you do here at Staples?
I am Karen Romano, and I'm secretary to the principal of Staples High School.
How long have you been working here?
I have been here coming up on 25 years.
Have you always been the secretary of the principal here?
No, this is my 5th job at Staples. I first was a para in the library, and from there I went to the guidance department, and I was a secretary there. And from the guidance department I went to, at that time was called the dean's office, which is now called the assistant principal's office. And from there I became the secretary to the principal.
What do you do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time? I love my grandchildren. I have another one on the way, my 3rd granddaughter. And I love to go down to North Carolina to my home.
What is something the students here at Staples might not know about you?
I love music and I love to dance.
What's your favorite song or music genre? Doesn't really matter.
Every genre there is. I just love music.
What's advice you might give for a student at Staples or teenagers in general?
Teenagers in general, I would say stay focused and just pursue your dreams.
Thanks for the great interview, Mrs. Romano, and now back to the hosts.
Thanks, Mrs. Romano, for allowing us to interview you and learn a little more about you.
Up next is a piece from Gavin and Nick about the upcoming One Act Play Festival, which happens this weekend.
Hey Staples, the One Act Play Festival is coming up this weekend. I got a chance to talk to some of the directors about the process. Let's take a look.
So One Acts is a final product for the directing class. We have 18 directors. We read a bunch of short plays and then we pick our own plays that we direct ourselves. I'm directing Hands of Horror. It's going to be a great show. You should all come to One Acts. There will be 18 different little One Acts ranging from drama to comedy, and it's going to be a great thing this weekend.
So for me, directing is really a totally new experience. It's something, I took the directing class this year. I've never tried directing something else before, and it's really cool to be on the other side of the process. I'm learning whole new things about the way directors think, how just the process for a show works, and it's really cool to be on the other side and experience things. So I'm loving this process.
So casting works similarly to regular main stage shows and players. We have all the kids come and audition for us, and then we call back kids for certain roles, and we have a casting pool, and then we get together and we each have our own distinct number, and we use that number to pick and cast who we want for our own shows.
Big thanks to all of the directors that I interviewed. You should definitely go and check out the Play Festival this weekend on Saturday at 5 and 8 and on Sunday at 5. It's going to be a great time, and you should definitely go and support your fellow students. And let's throw it back to the host. Be sure to get your tickets for the One Acts. This is a really fun chance for you to see many of your classmates and witness their directorial debut.
We have an important announcement from Staples Slobs. This Sunday at Cove Park in Stamford, please join the Staples Slobs in an effort to raise awareness for Lyme and other tick-borne diseases.
The event will include a certified 5K and 10K run, as well as a 1 mile and 3 mile walk. Information stations, music, food, and more will be available.
For more information, to volunteer, fundraise, and to register, visit limewalkrun.org.
Now it's time for sports. Many of you do not realize the commitment spring athletes make when they join the team.
A lot of you got to go on some great vacation trips last week. But if you're on a sports team, you stay in Westport to compete against other high schools. Jack and Ethan found out how some of the sports team's members feel about this.
Hi, I'm Jack Zapfel. Welcome back from spring vacation. For our piece, we went around the school asking spring sports athletes whether or not they should be allowed to go on vacation.
I think it's fun. On the lacrosse team, we like playing lacrosse over the break, and we just take vacation another time of year, and we have a good time just hanging out with the team during break.
Athletes who play a spring sport, especially if they have games, shouldn't go away. They've made a commitment to the team and to their teammates, their coaches, to be there for the full season, be able to contribute to the team. And if you go away over the spring, that's really right in the middle of the season. That's time to get better, and it's time to compete a bit. So you should be here, and you should fulfill your commitment.
I think that athletes who sign up to play spring sports, they know that they're committed to it, and they know that they're not allowed to go on vacation.
I don't really have an opinion on whether or not we should go on spring break for spring sports or not. I mean, if we were allowed to go, I would go, but it's also fun being home and hanging out with your team all week.
Yeah, as a spring athlete, I get to go on spring break, and I find that pretty cool, and I enjoy going on spring break and also being able to play a spring sport.
We thank the spring sports athletes for taking their time to speak to us. Now let's kick it back to the host.
So when many of you were sitting on a beach soaking up the sun last week, many Staples athletes were practicing and playing against other high school teams. Our hats off to them.
Meg, Taylor, and Victoria were interested in our baseball team and attended their game against Newtown before vacation. Here's a report for this week's Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Madison, and we're here with our first player of the week, so please introduce yourself.
I'm Noah Yokoy, and I'm part of the Staples High School baseball team.
So Noah, tell us how the season is going.
So our season's going pretty well. We beat a couple tough teams, one tough loss to Stanford, but I don't think we've reached our ceiling yet. We definitely have a lot of room to grow, so we're doing pretty well.
So Noah, tell us about the Newtown game.
We got off to kind of a slow start, but Ryan Fitton had a really good game. He really held Newtown down when we needed him to, so he had a very good game.
So we have a few highlights of the game. Tell us a little bit about them.
This was our home opener against Newtown High. It was broadcasted by CPTV. They did a great job, and it was fun playing on TV. Ross got the catcher to throw it over the second baseman's head into center field, and I was able to score. Yeah, that was our senior right fielder, Sean Clark, hit a bomb off the wall in left center field. And this was the wild pitch, I think in the same inning, and Sean Clark was able to score from third.
So Noah, thank you so much for being with us here today. And do you have any final messages for the school?
Our next home game is against Wilton at home on Friday, so show some love.
Thanks to Meg, Taylor, and Victoria for their report on the Newtown game. Congratulations to the team for their win as well.
That's our show for this week, Staples.
The Period 8 class should be back next Wednesday with their own show as we resume our usual broadcast schedule.
Have a good weekend, and we'll see you at the One Act Play Festival this weekend.
Goodbye.